Let's see once again if I remember how to do this. Boom! Sergeant America coming at you live, or more or less. Alive. I'm once again working my overnight, so super tired, super frazzled. Uh, Trying to enjoy my days off, getting my daughter to the zoo, getting my daughter to the park. The state of South Dakota never did any kind of lockdown or closure, even though we had a um, pork processing plant in town, Smithfield, that had over 1,000 cases of, workers and families of COVID. Um Otherwise, every day I've been going to work. It's just one of those things where my wife is currently working from home through both of her jobs, and comic shop has stayed open the entire time. They were doing curbside delivery. They were doing some delivery through town. If were buying a decent amount, they didn't want to do it for one book, but a couple stacks or whatever. They've still been getting all their deliveries. They've been, I think, jumping, keeping up with all the DC stuff. So, as far as I know, they are rolling with it. And like I said, every week I could go in. It's just trying to find the time to get in. I haven't had a lot of books, so I think I'm going to go through about 3 weeks worth of books here. I will be talking briefly about this week's books. So if you haven't read Gideon Falls, Metalmen, Strange Adventures, um, that'll be about the only thing that I'll be covering. Just like I said, brief amount. Try not to spoil too much. So we'll probably get started with what you came here for. Uh, Gideon Falls, number 22. Once again, this is just an enjoyable story. Sorrentino art was, of course, the number one reason why I got on here. Lemire has been doing a good job with his sci-fi horror fantasy that he's doing here. Um, just going to say about this that with the breaks, it's been kind of tough to remember what's going on. This is definitely going to be best in trade, so I definitely recommend it to everybody who's doing the trades. Of course, I've started with the floppies, going to keep picking up the floppies, keep supporting that. Um, Metalman, number 7. Once again, this is a surprise too. With Dan Didio leaving, um, as you can see, the Metalmen have changed quite a bit. There is an nth metal person or metal man, who has come from the core of the earth, and Doc Magnus is worried about what that implies. The nth metal man starts changing all the other metal men, giving them kind of a free will, and exposing something about Doc on. The story isn't overly clear, and with the gaps maybe in distribution, I think it's just been one of those things where I've forgotten some things too. I do like the art in there has been pretty decent, which I said was Davis. I will give a clarity on that real quick here. Dan Didio and Shane Davis are credited as storytellers. Didio is dialogue. Davis and Michelle Dalecki are doing the inks. Jason Wright colors. Here are a new middleman. Because of the team getting kind of a consciousness, evidently Magnus needed to start a new team, so he made them animals, and the idea is that they're more loyal because they're animals. It's a fun book, and that's what I got it for. I've always liked Metal Men. They've never really taken off a whole lot, so I pick up the mini maxi series whenever I can. But like I said, otherwise, it's been an enjoyable artwork inside the book. So Davis, like I said, has done a good job with that. Shane Davis, so I think it used to just be him. Davis is credited as art, but I don't know. With Didio gone, I don't know what technically changed in this. This is one of those things later on I'll be interested to hear the stories about how that affected everybody and what that all means. Strange Adventures number 2. I did not originally put this on my pull list because I'm definitely hit or miss with King. I did not enjoy the Batman run, so I got off probably 7 or 8 issues in. This is good. I mean, this seems to follow along the lines of a Mr. Miracle Vision kind of storyline feel. I've just definitely been enjoying it. I don't know a whole lot about Adam Strange, so once again, it's another reason to enjoy it. I'm not a purist in any way, so I did pick up, of course, here's Metal Man number 6, alternate cover. I do like artwork, so I went with that. Didn't really need all the dressing on top. And as you can see, it's just the Metal Man and Tina. I picked up this Hawkman special, $1 book, so it was 1986 special Hawkman. In this one I did enjoy. Hawkman had evidently killed a bunch of his people and was being plagued by it, being visited by them in the spirit realm. Phantom Stranger is involved in this one, so it was enjoyable for that fact too. You can see that wonderful artwork, wonderful Phantom Stranger. I didn't really know Phantom very well. I kind of knew him as a Batman guy. Some of was it King's series that kind of ran with him a little bit, and then a little bit in Suicide Squad and that. So, I mean, 1986. It had the nostalgia. That was decent. It was a nice hefty book for I'm sure at the time $1.25, $1 for me. It was just good to pull this off the dollar wall, read it, enjoy it. Like I said, I wasn't grabbing a whole lot of new books at the time, so I grabbed Soviet Super Soldiers. This one, it's the Soviet Union is falling apart, and so they're trying to grasp and get all their heroes back. So as you see, everybody on the cover, little by little gets introduced, or one team goes after another team, things like that. So here's some wonderful artwork on the inside there. I just enjoyed it. This definitely was back in the day when I enjoyed this kind of stuff. Don't know right offhand. 1992 is what they're saying. So this would have been at maybe the end of my collecting period there for a while, as I was getting ready to concentrate more on school and that kind of stuff. Just an enjoyable Marvel book, and like I said, I picked that up for $1. Picked this one up because I don't really know a whole lot about like the fighting forces and that kind of stuff. The Unknown Soldier, I always kind of enjoyed seeing him jump into Suicide Squad or getting a short story of him somewhere else. What else do we have in here? Batwoman, and then there was a real life story of the U.S. Army Medal of Honor recipient. So it was just nice for $5. I believe that's what it was. Yeah, so it's $4.99. I'm guessing it was probably one of the old Walmart exclusives that are now over at the comic shop. So enjoyed it. Picked it up from my local comic store, Rainbow Comics, Cards and Collectibles in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Definitely always enjoy them. Speaking about things you really enjoy, bam, Suicide Squad. This is number 5. Taylor has been doing a great job putting 1 or 2, sometimes 3 twists that I didn't see coming. When I read the first one, there's a Suicide Squad goes after a team, and you're like, oh yeah, they're going to try and get all these guys and get them arrested and join the Suicide Squad. So I know exactly what's going on. It was that, and then it was more. There was just enough twists and turns with the work that Taylor has been doing on this. The Ronaldo art is definitely also amazing in here. See if I can kind of get... I'll just do this first page here so you can kind of get an idea of his art without really spoiling too much. I definitely have been enjoying this book, and Would love to see this go for a 32 issue run or something. Um, but Taylor does what Taylor needs to do. It's a $4 book, worth it for $4. So I'm definitely recommending everybody pick that one up. Farmhand number 15. The story continues on and on and on. I love it. I mean, for all the work that Rob Gilroy puts into it, it is just as beautiful and delightful as Chew, in my opinion. Uh, so I just keep reading it. I mean, of course, once again, this probably does go better in trade, but I do want to keep supporting him because it's Rob Gilroy doing his Rob Gilroy best. So, Blackwood number 3. I had some people ask me. It's not a holographic cover or anything like that. Just a really good artist doing some amazing work to make it look that way. This continues once again. This is definitely probably best in trade. But as I continue to read it, I just want to support him. It's been a very good, like I said, Harry Potter meets Cthulhu kind of storyline where it's kids going to a university. I'm guessing they're under 18, so 16 to 18. But then it just gets dark. I mean, the first issue, the people are just being bug people and possession, and there's a lot of death, and even the students die, and you just lose some of your main characters. Definitely a good book. I mean, for that, I definitely recommend people pick that one up also. And then lastly, I picked up Upshot Now from AWA. Mixture of different artists, different writers. I picked it up, a lot of it, because of the Diodato art that was in here. It was okay. I mean, it's good. I definitely would read it free on Hoopla. This was a how much did you cost me? $5 book. So for $5, fairly nice, hefty book with a little bit of back. So it's got the Resistance, Archangel 8, Hell Hotel, Red Border. And so at least those 4 stories. I think there was actually like 2 chapters of some of them in here. They're all good. I mean, it's nothing made me so excited that I had to pick it up. You can see everything in here is black and white. So there's a little Diodato art, I believe, on there. I mean, it's just page after page of solid art, decent, okay story. Nothing that really hooked me so much, with this semi-horror, I don't know. Oh, and then there was a Frank Cho. As much as I like Frank Cho, his writing is not why I pick things up. It's his art. This Hunger Games style adult women book. I think was it Bad Women was the name of it, or Fight Girls. Fight Girls is what it was. You pick it up and you get what you get. I don't know that I'll follow any of these books. Maybe I'll look for trades down the road. Maybe I just hope for it free on Hoopla. I'm spoiled that way. I'm definitely cheap. So, enjoyed my books. Voting with my dollars. Waiting to see how everything pans out with the new DC distribution system. As far as I know, my store is still doing good. It does make me worry that some of the little titles that I buy may not be carried by them, because they're going to want to do all the big Batman stuff like that. But if it's not worth it for them to do Metal Men, so I'll have to wait and see. I may have to hunt down those kind of things elsewhere, but otherwise, it's a rainy, cold day. It's been cruising 90 degrees here every once in a while. I mean, I live in South Dakota. It's negative 40 in the winter. I don't want it above 80 in the summer, but you live with what you get. I strap my mask on and go out, except for when I hit the zoo. Then I'm out there just trying to breathe the healthy air. Hope everybody else is doing well out there. Hope everybody takes safe measures. Just think smart. Keep reading your books. Keep enjoying things. Don't let depression get you down. Don't let the weather get you down. Don't let any of that get you down. Keep on keeping on. And catchphrase.